Hi class, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday Life Skills, and we're going to talk a little bit about Unit 3 this week. So here we go. Life Skills announcements. Again, they are posted in the class plan and class news. So this week you are reading Unit 3 about eating well, staying well, and have a couple quizzes as well. So check that out, and that will tell you exactly what you have to do this week and where to find those. Today's objectives, we will be looking at your current nutritional recommendations and then how to look at eating healthy and our Choose My Plate, a little bit about how to eat healthy, how to make right choices, different things like that. So here we go. Are you healthy? There are several different types of health, whether it is physical, emotional health, social health. All of those combined equal your total overall wellness. So that is the combination of those different avenues of health. In this lesson, we're going to talk mainly about your physical health, specifically about your diet and your healthy eating. So have you seen the new Choose My Plate from choosemyplate.gov? It takes the food guide pyramid that we used to see when we were a little bit younger and puts it into a better visual, like what you would look at if you actually looked at a dinner plate, and divides it out as to how much of that dinner plate should be fruits and grains, how much of it should be vegetables and proteins. So, and then what your dairy should look like. If we were in class, I'd be interested to see how much of your actual dinner plate is composed of vegetables and fruits, and what your dinner plate looks like in comparison to the Choose My Plate plate. All right, so on the Choose My Plate, it just divides it out, and obviously it's color-coded, and it explains it a little bit better about what defines fruits and vegetables, what defines your grains and your proteins, whether you're a vegetarian or a vegan, and how you can actually get your proteins and all of those different things in other areas if you choose not to eat meats or anything animal or plant-based. So take a look at this chart, and you can look at the definitions of what actually would fit under each of those areas. So in the fruits, you're going to look at different things, whether it's choose fresh fruits, it can be frozen fruits, canned or dried fruits. All of those count toward your daily fruit intake. And as you can see, it really is a little bit less than maybe a quarter of your daily intake of what you're eating. Your vegetables obviously looks a little bit more than a quarter, so that is the majority of what you're taking in on a daily basis is a lot of the veggies, and that is one of the star there indicates what might possibly be one of your quiz questions. So veggies, you want to eat, the majority would be your green dark veggies. That's going to be the best for your health benefits. Orange veggies, they're recommending that you take a little bit more of your orange veggies like your carrots. And then you can, dried beans and peas are good for you as well. And then your milk, making sure that you're getting your calcium, and those can be, whether it is your dairy, and you can choose a lot of different options now in that milk, whether it is your soy, it can be lactose free as well. So a lot of different options in getting the milk and the dairy in that area as well. Your grains, at least half of your grains need to be whole grains. 3 ounces of whole grain bread, your cereals, your rice, and your pasta. Look for the word whole before your grains, and then make sure that when you're looking in the ingredients that, that comes first before the sugars. Meats, beans, go lean on the protein. Make sure you're choosing the low fat or the lean meats. The best way to eat it, even though that frying it tastes the best, baking it and broiling it and grilling it are your best options on that, okay? And then just knowing, whether it has been deep fried, knowing your fats, what kind of fats there are, whether it's saturated fats or, knowing your vegetable oils versus your, saturated things. All of those, whether it's, been used in your saturated or marinated or, soaked in butter, all of those different things, dipped in butter, how you're eating it matters too, because you can get a nice vegetable or a nice piece of meat and whether you're soaking it in butter or a dip, makes a big difference on whether it takes it from a healthy aspect to maybe a less healthier choice. So all of those things matter in choosing your plate and how you're eating it. Right. Also, drinking water. How much water do you drink? Are you staying hydrated? And are you choosing about 6 to 8 glasses of water every day? So really important that your body is getting that hydration that it needs and not substituting that for your sugary pops and your Gatorade and all of those other things that sometimes we use as a substitution, thinking that just because it's liquid, it is hydrating us, making sure that it is water. And then choosing nutrient-dense foods. Nutrient-dense foods, say that 10 times fast. They're full of nutrients and they're not full of unnecessary chemicals and excess fat. So this one is a good visual of things that are nutrient-dense. So things like kale, collard greens, bok choy, carrots, tomatoes, pomegranate juice, strawberries, asparagus, blueberries, a lot of those things are nutrient dense. Good choices to make. Right, 6 nutrients are your carbohydrates. They are the sugars, the starches. They're the main sources for your energy. The proteins, they're used for growth, they repair the energy and fight disease. Don't forget about your beans and your eggs for your proteins. Fats, forms of energy for health, skin, and normal hair growth. They carry the vitamins. Those are found in your avocados, your peanut butter, and your good fats. And your water would be another nutrient, and it regulates your body functions, make sure everything keeps working, and your temperature, so 6 to 8 glasses. Your vitamins, they're going to help fight your disease. And then also that's found in your fruits and veggies. Minerals are another nutrient, and they help contribute to your body structure, your bones and your teeth. And those are also found in healthy foods, so choose the fresh ones on that. And then you're going to say, okay, it costs too much to eat healthy and eat right, which is kind of true. You know, when you pay $3 for a gallon of milk, you're not just buying that item. You're also paying to have it, the cleaning of out of the milk, you know, pasteurized, sorting, packaging, transporting it, the research and the marketing of it. All of those factors affect the cost of it. Also the weather, whether it's in season or not, the popular diets, whether it's the fat or not. All of that go into the cost of it, and it also affects whether, you know, you can eat right or not. So how do you eat healthy? Well, meal planning and money saving are a really big part of that. So here are some tips about trying to plan ahead and to eat right and save money in doing that. So shop for a week's worth of food at one time. We all know that when you go impulsively into the grocery store to buy something for a one-time meal, it costs more than if you plan ahead and buy groceries for the whole week or more. Eat leftovers and other food items. We all know that, you know, sometimes we don't like to eat leftovers, but eating leftovers is going to save us on money and it helps eat healthy. You know, make a big salad and eat it for a couple days. Shop sales, use coupons, cut back on your quantities of meat in dishes like soup, you know, thin out that soup a little bit. Base your meals off of less expensive items like the grains. And then you can buy the off-brand, sometimes the Kroger brands or Aldi's. Those are great ways to save money and still eat healthy. And then check your labels for expiration dates. And then don't go to the grocery store hungry. I think that this is a common known fact, but sometimes that's when we tend to go, is when we run out of groceries and we're hungry. You always tend to buy more when you're hungry. Everything looks good when you're hungry. And then plan ahead. Planning ahead can really save you a lot of time and energy if you stay focused on eating healthy. Also, if you plan on eating fresh fruits and vegetables, you can wash and chop your fruits and veggies ahead of time. I know that when I come home from the grocery store, if I leave the fruit, especially grapes for some reason, if I leave grapes in the bag on the stem, they can sit in my refrigerator for 2 and 3 days at a time. But if I take the time to come home and wash them and take them off the stem and stick them in a bowl, they're gone within the next day. So it is just plan, eat your fresh fruits and veggies, plan ahead, and prepare those. If you're rushed and you haven't prepared your food, you're more likely to choose the processed things, the things that are already bagged up, the things that are, quick and easy to grab. So just plan ahead. Sometimes it really is about like cutting up those fruits and veggies, putting them in baggies or containers that you can just grab them on the go. It just really makes a world of difference in eating healthy sometimes. So just think about that. Sometimes it is about preparation and about choices. So start small. Sometimes, we get all gung-ho and we're like, I'm starting tomorrow. Or for me, it's always like, I'm starting Monday. Monday always seems to be my go-to day, but I'm starting Monday. But start small. Start one thing at a time. Maybe it's like, I just need to start with water. I'm going to stop drinking 1 can of pop each day and replace it with water. Then it's 2. So start small and then just start thinking about making healthy choices. What healthy choice am I going to make today? Is it going to be pop? Am I going to start switching that out? Am I going to start cutting up my veggies and grabbing a healthy snack in the afternoon instead of, something prepackaged? So just make healthy choices and start thinking about that. As we get older, those are some things that we need to take responsibility for. So just something to think about, something to read about in Unit 3 and to take that quiz over this week. All right, have a great day, guys.